2, 3, go! Memphis, Tennessee, straight up this bitch. The Gunt. Big ups to MC Jarbo. Did someone say, wait a minute, Matt, no.
Okay, welcome to the GNN, welcome to the Gunt News Network. With me right now are two very special guests. They are so very kind to join us. I have Ben Lutmurder and Vida Viking. These two, I believe, are the connoisseurs. Connoisseurs, I tell you, about content pertaining to this one very special internet celebrity, very close to our hearts. Very close to our hearts. It is none other than KOP, King of Poa. Some call him Brian Dunn. I'm not sure. You might have heard his name in the streams before. You might have heard people try and yell out his dogs on stream. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken down. But I'm so happy before this entire channel gets taken down. I'm so happy to at least have these two people join us. Ben Lutmurder by the Viking, can you introduce yourselves a bit more than just being A-logs, haters of King of Poa? Yes, Ben Lutmurder, please proceed. Please introduce yourselves. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. No, Wider, I think you should be first because your history with him is far larger than mine.
Okay. Well, my name is Vidar Viking. I'm from Norway, and I had a history with King of Poa, or Brian Dunn, or he goes by so many names. He's the Arm Toast, or his latest was Dr. Brain, I think. Yeah. I used to know him around a few years ago when I was hanging around in DSP circles. He was also suddenly, but the first time I heard of him was because I used to be or probably currently is a big Matika fan. And back in the day, he used to do a lot of streams with him during Gamergate. So I or something. And to be honest, to be fair, I think King of Poa made. I had a completely different picture of him. It's like much because he was of the people he hang out with and the person he tried to portray himself as. But it soon turned out my initial how we call it initial.
His impressions of him turned sour.
Yes, impressions of him they changed somewhat over the years. Yes, exactly.
Yes, I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was a Gamergate. I thought he was giving. I thought he was giving content. I never thought that it could be. I held him in good faith. I hold him in good faith, but then again, I'm quite a gullible person. But I held him in good faith. Then the more you started digging in, you get irritated because you realize that everything he says is not really grounded in fact. And when you call him out of it, he behaves in the most silliest manners. But you go on. I want to know what's your journey with King of Poa. Go on.
Oh well, we were supposed to have a debate about Dark Side Phil for a long time ago, and we did. I actually thought it was pretty great that he wanted to talk to me because I was a little bit the King of Poa. Can I really talk to this guy? And we talked for about 5 hours. The stream was pretty awful, I suppose. But after the stream happened, it was things started to happen. It was like suddenly the audio was gone, and he was like, "Oh, you're trying to false DMCA this, you bastard!" And I'm like, "No." And it was because he had used some intro music or something that was claimed by UMG, and that was pretty obvious. But I was like that meme with that rabbit, who you see, like, you really think people will go online and just tell lies like that? That's not possible. But he did, and I was like shocked. But the worst thing you can tell him actually is I think you're lying, Brian, that this didn't happen, and then it just sends him on, like, oh no, I'll never lie. And he sort of gets really, really upset with you when you accuse him of lying, and it's really hard not to, because he has a truth-telling problem, to be honest. And yeah, our journey, or our good friendship, really escalated from there, where he would where he would be very unfriendly with each other, where I would constantly try to prove that he was lying, and he was constantly like ramping up the accusations against me, where it went all the way from like it does with most people. You start to like you get accused of trying to interfere with his real life, right? That like you've gone too far while trying to contact his family, or done something like that, and that obviously never happens. But in many cases, that's how he sort of that's what he tries to accuse people of doing, like interfering with his real life, even though he's sort of the one putting his real life out there, if you understand what I mean.
I'm under the impression that he actually takes things IRL in real life. That's the impression I get. So that's what I'm thinking. He's a bit of a dangerous person. And then I'm a bit hypocritical, I know, a bit hypocritical. If he ever comes across this stream, I think he'll come after me IRL in real life as well. But whatever. I think this channel will go down in maybe a few months, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. But never mind. I'm having fun talking. I think I'm having fun, so I'll just proceed talking shit about King of Poe. Yes, but it always begins like this. I have a similar journey with him as well. A similar journey with him as well, as you might already have guessed. When I did
you rape his family or something as well? Did you also go and call the Child Protective Services and threaten to rape his wife and all this stuff as well?
Oh, you heard the
I thought it was me.
No, I'm just guessing. That's just how it is. It's like, you goddamn bastard. Come after me with your damn...
Yes, that was me. I mean, okay, to tell the truth, King of Poe, I had a few confrontations with him. I lost my mind. I'm tired of him lying about me. So that's lying about me. That's why I told him, I hope CPS is called upon you. That can only be a good thing, and got me banned from... I mean, I've shared the story with the murder. So I think all of us are guilty, I suppose, of trying to call the CPS on him, whatever. But you don't mind? You have anything else to say? Otherwise, I'll just hang the mic over to Ben Look Murder. I would like to know his personal experiences with our friend King of Poe. Ben Look Murder?
It's hard to hear you.
Oh,
yeah.
It's hard to hear me. Hold on. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right. What is your experiences with Ben Lut? What's your experiences with King of Poe? How do you get to know him, and how do you venture down this rabbit hole?
Oh, okay. First thing first. I am known by following names. One time I was Fred Fox, the leader of Sons of Kojima, ex-Alog Circle surrounding DSP. Then I was known as, they call me TXT, some guy that Fred Fox hated and told Brian to go after. Then I was known as Hakim. I have no idea who this is. Then I became Coach Red Pill, who you probably know. Well,
yes.
And I can hear you're clearly all of them. You're clearly all of these people.
maybe we all are the same person in Brian's head. But okay, actually, what's surprising, I don't have a really big history with Brian, because literally the first time I heard about him was that same stream that Mr. Matika had about him. And that's probably the only thing that everyone on the internet knows about Brian. But to be fair, I laughed at that, and after that, I forgot about him. Up to 2019, I think, when I caught him soaking as Dead Mole Explorer or something like this was that sock of his. And out of curiosity, I decided to poke him with a stick to get the reaction. And what do you know? It worked wonders. It worked wonders, because immediately he started suspecting me as someone from his past. and it kept growing and growing and growing until he, in the Ralph's thread of all places, he suggested that I might be Fred Fox, of all people. Keep in mind that it was almost 2 years after SOK tumbled. But okay, I decided out of curiosity to poke him with the most obvious bait possible. I said something like, "Careful, Brian. You know that Fred Fox was recording everything and everyone back in the day, and who knows what you told him." And guess what? Immediately, he took it to Fred Fox thread and said, "Look, guys, it's him. He says something like, if you're not gonna stop, I'm gonna destroy you." And like it worked wonders. I can hear you.
Oh yes. Okay. Good. Glad to hear. Glad to hear it.
Oh, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. After that, when he embarrassed himself in that thread, he decided to switch my personality and called me someone named Hakim and then TXT, but then he called other guy TXT. Like, I don't know. At the first glance, I thought that he's just fucking with people. Like he calls them someone in their face and hopes that other people see that and go after them. So those people will leave him alone. But the more I looked after him, I realized that probably he really believes that. Because sometime after, I became CRP. I don't know why. And between those, when he called me CRP, he called me some Eastern European tranny or something. And I really don't know where he got this, because I've never claimed to be anything other than a dude. So that kind of ramped my curiosity, and after some time, I decided to update his thread, because the old OP was basically a shit post. It was like 2 posts about Gamergate, how he embarrassed himself with dental leaks. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, stuff that nobody cares in 2020.
Certainly, but
So I took it.
Go on. Sorry.
What? Oh yeah. So I took it upon myself, and after that, I became one of his mortal enemies, and forever will be.
Because you updated that thread, isn't it? Because of that thread. I thought you were actually. It's very surprising, to be honest, because I thought that both of you had some kind of blood feud with Brian Dunn, King of Poa, lasting all the way back to Gamergate, which is like what, almost 10 years ago already. Right? Gamergate started around 2014 or 2013, I think. I've forgotten. But Gamergate is almost 10 years away from now. And I thought that but turns out it's very innocuous. It's just very innocuous. Okay, you encounter
You're gonna be surprised.
Yes.
By the way, because many people forget one thing. Back in the day, during Gamergate, Brian was somewhat of an internet friend with you know who, Ethan Ralph.
Oh, Ethan Ralph. Ah, okay, I see.
Yes, I even have the recording. I downloaded it from YouTube, but sadly I can't remember the name. The recording from somewhere in 2014, 2015, where extremely drunk Ethan Ralph, I know it's hard to believe, yeah, extremely drunk Ethan Ralph cries that Achan jokes about him killing a girl behind Arby's in, I don't remember the exact year. And you know what? Brian consoles him and tells him, like, don't be too hard on yourself. They're bullies. Like, relax.
Yeah. Well, that's Gamergate is probably how King of Poa made his name, at least, because he had one of the biggest streams during Gamergate, and that was sort of built him up as as a person somebody would recognize today, really, because he never ever regained that height of recognition like he did back then, because he was streaming to like several thousand people at some point, and he looked like sort of an impressive guy, but I don't know if it's just been a long downward spiral from that, and it doesn't stop. It's just going down still.
Yeah, if you look at it back in the day, it's hard to believe now, considering what Gamergate has become. But back in the day, it was much, much more simpler and innocent. It was just a bunch of people in a Skype call talking about stuff and other. Like there was no money yet, no popularity, nothing, and they just talked about like their opinions on like cultural shifts and others. So like anyone could make his way up there and talk. So no wonder that Brian ended up there.
No, it's really good talking and talking a lot when he first starts talking, but it's doesn't always make sense what's coming out of him.
Yeah, especially that stream when I don't remember who was there. Sargon, Jim, and Jade was there. Were there. That's for sure. That's for sure. Where he starts spazzing out and questions Holocaust.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's the person who started Holocaust denial. It's not Reason Ralph. It's King of Poe who started going on a bizarre tangent about Holocaust denial. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry.
I don't think he directly denying Holocaust. It's just saying that there wasn't 6 million Jews that died. It was like 1 or something. It's
well, yeah, but where's one, there's the other, and it's funny how like you said, it came out of nowhere. They just talk about one stuff, and suddenly he starts coming up with all those crazy like conspiracy theories, and goes like, "Oh, you know that's concentration camps had the construction that wouldn't allow to kill that much people." And like Sargon of all people tells him, "Look, you have a reputation of an anti-Semite already. Maybe you should stop." And he's like, "Nah."
Yeah, this is about ethics in gaming, people.
Yes, exactly.
Jews.
Hold on. So hold on. I just need to cut in, just in case someone stumbles from the stream. They have no idea what Gamergate is. The Gamergate is basically people online fighting back against game reviewers who spat on them more or less. It's something bizarre that happened on the internet to propel a few nobodies to fame. I don't want to go into details about that, but it is something on the internet that happened that propelled nobodies into fame. And Brian Dan, King of Poe, is one of these people. And of course, from there it went into a downward spiral. It went to a downward spiral. Him with this internet fame, or maybe this brain of his, I'm convinced it's mentally ill, decided to pick internet fights again and again and again and again. And indeed, he pissed the three of us off. Which is why we decided to come here and do a stream about him. And isn't it funny? Right? That okay, he's from the US. None of us, his reach is so far. His reach is so far and wide. Do you notice that the three of us were speaking in weird and exotic accents? Do you realize that?
It's
international superstar.
Worldwide.
Hated worldwide. None of us are speaking with a gringo accent. None of us are speaking with Merrimack accent or even a British accent. We're speaking in weird accents that they've got to figure out. So, well, that's King of Poe for you. That's Brian Dunn for you. Okay, sorry for the interjection. So let's continue. Where were we at? Yes.
No, it's fine. I think this is actually how Brian imagined his A-logs to congregate and plan how to destroy his life.
From the other side of the planet. Yeah. Yes, we are literally on the other side of the planet, but whatever. What else? So many things we can talk about King of Poe. I mean, King of Poe. Yes, go on.
I'd like to mention one thing that Vidar didn't talk about, because I think it should be highlighted.
Yes.
Back in the day, Brian joined Kiwi Farms, and like he was found out to be King of Poe when he used account called Fedora Man. But that's not what the problem. He decided to use Kiwi Farms as his personal army, and how all of this somehow worked is still baffling for me. because he made a thread about Vidar, and I don't know. I can maybe I'll link it to you, but still, I to this day I can't believe that no one took a look and realized that it's a fucking PA request filled with nothing but it. Because it really went like this. Like, here's Vidar. Vidar sends me some like shit, but I mean, he sent him his arm covered in ketchup, and he thought that it's threat. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I
Like,
was sending him a picture, and I was sending him an email, actually, just trying to have some fun with him, poke a little bit fun with him, and it's like,
Yes,
oh my
yes.
god, this psychopath is cutting himself up, and he's doing this, shaman magic, and he's going to kill me. Like,
yeah,
oh
but
my
that's
God.
not the problem. The problem is he added very misleading stuff. First thing first, he claimed that Vidar defended the infamous pedophile Amos Yee. The thing is, Vidar actually said, I support his right to express his views. Not I support his views, but I support his right to express them. Basically, let them talk so we could try to change his mind. However, encapsulated it as like, see, he defends Amos Yee. And like, still, I can believe that people, they probably didn't read this shit, but still, he writes, he defends him, and has a screenshot where he basically says, I don't defend him, I defend his right to express those views.
Yeah.
And like, Brian, okay, he's mentally ill, but other people, they hate this bullshit. And other stuff was like, he finds some user on Reddit called pedoviking.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty
immediately, yes, and immediately assumed it was Vidar. But why? I mean, because he's like Viking too, like Vidar.
I think it's the first time he's sort of I'm the only one who he knew who had like Viking in his title or in his name or something. So I automatically assume that if he finds somebody else with that on the internet, everybody on the internet with something Viking has to be me or something.
Yeah,
you know?
but still, to this day, I can't believe that moderators, many other users, and even fucking Null of all people, they looked at this shit and no one asked any questions. Because today, if someone tried to post something like this, they would just say, like, not your personal army, fuck off. However, Brian was able to run on this shit for almost 6 months. For almost 6 months, and still, I think it was highly bad on moderator team's part and Null's part, because Vidar, he like wasn't silent about it. He came and told Null that, look, I'm okay with having a thread here. However, the part where you call me a pedophile without any solid proof, it's like, it's not cool. Can you drop this, please? And he's like,
Yes.
no, why would I? I mean, for starters, it's obviously very misleading, and anyone can like look at that, take it, and say, "Look, Vidar Viking is a pedophile because Kiwi Farms thinks so." That's like
it's like on the front page, like they
Yes.
sort of present it. But
that's
to their
basically
defense,
trolling plans. Trolling plans.
they went at least farther later where they tried to prove that it was me and prove that it wasn't me, because this guy was I don't know, 15 years younger than me, and was actually kind enough to answer these trolls and tell them that
Yes, but
I wasn't
still,
him.
like, I mean, like I said, Brian is fucking dumb, and no, like, him writing this is not a big deal. However, other people eating that and letting it like go through, that's real problem. Because
I think
people,
they gave up.
like I said,
I think they gave up. You know, the reason why he's able to make so many socks and get away with it is because
no,
gave
that
up.
was way before that.
Oh,
way before that.
Okay.
Even before he, maybe he had one sock at that point. Yeah. There was one sock called Invisible N-word, and there's very, very funny story connected to it, but that's for later. So, okay, and after that, Vader keeps coming back and tells like, look, I am none of those things, and tries to explain himself like, look, I'm not defending MOC, I'm defending his right to express those views. Nobody listens. He says, I'm not that pedo-Viking guy. You can like contact him and ask him about it. Nope. Nobody even tried. They like just because he's associated with DSP, well, was back in the day. People just point their fingers and scream like you are all those things and keep like harassing him because he keeps coming back and nothing comes out of it. I mean, for fuck's sake, Brian Dunn comes on top. Can you believe that?
Yeah, certainly. Which is why I really hesitate. Which is why I told you, I think a few weeks ago, that yes, it's better not to confront Brian Dunn, because yes, you do this kind of stuff, and well, really, if not mistaken, the Vida Viking, those accusations actually even impacted you in your real life. Am I right to say that?
Yes, yes, and like many people said, like, "Oh, come on, that's just one little forum. Nobody cares about it." But I'm convinced that if Vidar didn't live in Norway at that time, someone would contact his job or relatives or neighbors or whatever and told like, "Look, this man who has like thing for children lives around you. Please do something to him."
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sure that would happen.
Yes.
What's funny is that we do actually have a sort of a pretty solid neighbor watch here in Norway. So I'm happy none of that got out of hand. You know, we have a neighbor that lives pretty near me, and he had some problem with those guys where they would just like exposed him to everybody around, and you know, some of the people living around him actually had children, and they moved straight out because you know, it's such a blow to your reputation or something when these things come out. But in so even trying it, even though it didn't affect me really hard in my real life, other than I actually worked at Child Protective Services at the time. I had a job for about 3 years where I was ironically, when I met King of All, I was working in Child Protective Services with, and I worked with children or young people every day. And when he was starting to say this, it sort of impacted me very hard because he sort of gets pretty pissed off when people start lying about these things because they can get out of hand. People can misunderstand and not do like the legwork to see how real this is or not, and suddenly you are in a big trouble because so this guy just wants to sort of insult you or something, right?
Yeah, and not to mention that to work there, you have to have a clear criminal record.
Of course, they background check you, and I was, and I still to this day have a clear criminal record. You have to have like police. Police, they check your police record, and if you have anything, they would not give it to you. It's like if I had done anything with drugs, violence, anything like that, I wouldn't be able to have that job, right?
Yeah, and not to mention that despite just putting that threads on Kiwi Farms, Brian had all the, like, he wanted to take it into IRL from the start because the first thing he did after posting the thread was to tweet it to Vider.
Yes.
He tweeted it to Vider and like, hey, look what's like what I made for you. Can you go and check and something like this? And then for months he kept trying to like get it out, like to steer this shit to make more people harass him and or something. So no, it wasn't that simple. So that he just went to the forum, like shout out very low effort thread, and like that was it. No. He tried to escalate things.
Yes.
He tried to escalate things.
Yes, certainly reminds me of what many tryhards are attempting to do. that in order to gain e-fame, in order to gain internet clout, they have to find a villain of the week, a victim of the week. And poor BSV, poor Vida Viking, yes, you are caught in the crossfire. And King of Pole decided to make you, yes, his villain of the week. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking initially. But then, yes, and you know that Jonathan Ross, yes, Jonathan Ross, the bathtub Jonathan Ross, he fell.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know very well.
yes, he fell. Fell under that category. Though I suppose King of Pole might be a little bit more justified. If, but let's be fair. This bathtub Ross, he's another mental wreck. It's not a
Yeah,
real. It's not a real catch. It's not real catch. But blowing
Yeah, yeah,
things
yeah.
up
But you
proportion. Go on.
know what's interesting and what people don't know? The thing is, Ross and the other guy called Zach, and that guy who made thread about Ross called Neil, and the Hole and the others, they were part of the like group of speds called Saints or something,
yeah,
and they were hardcore GSP trolls. And
Yes.
the thing is, just before all this shit with Vider began, and right before all this, right before the Ross saga began, uh, Brian actually was in contact with those people. And when I was working on updated OP, I read Vider's thread, and what do you know? First, Ross, who didn't have a thread at that point, appears in Vider's thread and mocks him. Then Zach, that guy, appears and mocks him too. And at some point, that Zach guy tells like Ross, "Be careful, or you'll get a threat too."
yeah,
Yes.
So pretty much that thing, like when Mr. Medical just joined some stream with like 10 viewers or something and found a Ross there and asked him about his love for looking at children in bathtub. That wasn't a coincidence. Brian told him to come there, and he was in contact with those people for months because I remember him having a little stream with that Zach or Boone guy where
yeah, yeah.
they played Melty Blood, I think. And it was in April, and the Ross saga was in September, like half a year, or almost half a year. So when Brian like cheats on them and tells something, he was a part of it pretty much. He knew for all that time that Ross like is not mentally well, but that's other thing.
Yeah, he knew Ross probably way before that, and was he was mostly enemies with him, but they were also friends and were playing video games for a while. And I think that was just because I also had spoken with this Ross and Boone previously, and they contacted me because they had some stupid beef with some DSP detractor guy or something. And the funny thing was that Brian, to get to me, so that I had talked to them and was trying to like befriend them to turn them against me or something. It was just insane. So we tried to be friends with them just to get them. It was like crazy.
Yeah, and also don't forget that back at the time when Brian contacted those DSP detractors, he was a part. Not he wasn't a part, but he tried his best to join Sons of Kojima.
Oh, he wanted to be Sons of Kojima so bad. They were like the
Yeah.
baddest people in the DSP sector at the time, and they didn't quite trust him either, I think, because Fred Fox, just used him as a collateral to hit other people. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He never got only friendly with them. So sadly, he could never join the Sons of Kojima. But
Yes.
he was Sons of Kojima adjacent.
Yes, so I'm right to say, right, that the reason why Jonathan Ross got into prominence is also because of that Joker King of Poe, isn't it? Am I right to say that? Or maybe I'm
Probably
mistaken.
yes.
Okay, it's
Probably
it's a
yes.
maybe. It's a maybe. And actually, it get even worse. Do you still remember? Did you still remember King of Poe trying to flirt with what's her name? She had that nickname called Hole, Hole.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, Ruby.
yes, Ruby, right? Jonathan Ross's girlfriend. I heard that he actually tried to flirt with her.
Yes.
He sent them like creepy gym pictures. I remember this, where he's like, "Oh, baby, wanna come to meet King of Paul?" Like, what the fuck?
Oh, no. I remember that, like, the sweetest phrase he told her. You will make me chase you, yeah?
Yeah, that's
My man, you sing. It's all out of left field. It's just out of left field. Why did that happen? I thought we are going after Ross. Then why are you hitting on his girlfriend, or why are you hitting on his girlfriend? It's all so strange.
I think back in the day he was a part of that little circle that was somewhat orbiting Mr. Matika, and people there told him that he should like do this to troll her or to get some information or something. I think they basically like I don't know how to describe. You know, like in the circle of dudes, there's always one stupid guy, and others always like tell him to do some stupid shit and laugh.
yeah, giving bad advice essentially. Just like, oh wow,
Yeah. So Brian was basically that for all
Yeah.
his life.
Oh, so in other words, he's the idiot. He's the person who volunteers to join. No, let's example. If I want to go after, let's say, go after you, Bandit Murder, but I don't want to make it too overt. I don't want to make it clear that I'm going after you. I hire Brian Dunn, that useful idiot, to be my quote unquote capo. Is that what you're saying?
No, you have to do the opposite. You have to do the opposite. You can't be on the same team as him. Are you crazy? You'll burn the whole thing down. You can't be associated with that guy. You're gonna burn the whole thing down. You have to like turn him. You have to do the opposite of that.
Or meaning he works using reverse psychology. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's much better because he sort of everything he touches falls apart eventually. He can't be used for something positive. It's like a destructive, chaotic force.
Oh, but just let me get the timeline straight. So what this the Ross saga and the Ross saga. I think it's around post Gamergate around 2017 or 2018, isn't it? That's the Ross saga.
Yeah.
And as for him going after you, the BSV thread, your thread was created around the same time as well, yes?
Yeah, a little before maybe, or
Yeah, a
around
little
the time,
earlier.
Yes, a little bit before. So that's why on Gamergate, I think around 2014, 2015. Yes, Trump got elected. They won. Trump got elected, and suddenly there was a dearth of content. And I thought, yes, Brian Dunn, King of Paul, wanted to gain some relevance, gain some e-clout, and decided to make you. I think everyone trying to find this villain of the week. So that's a typical cloud chasing behavior. You see this sort of behavior is in wannabe e-celebrities.
Not quite like this. You see, while I was doing a research for the thread, I realized one thing.
Yes.
Firstly, Gamergate happens. Brian gets some relevancy. Then Brian spectacularly fucks up with Denton leaks. And then Brian basically disappears. Because in that period of time between 2014 and 2017, I couldn't find anything, almost anything about him being relevant or being somewhere. Funniest thing though, the only place where he was actually mentioned was the Ralph retort.
We'll see
Out of all places, where one article I remember was where Ralph asked forgiveness, because there was one part where he said some. Brian keeps like bringing this up to this day. There was that documentary about Sarkeesian effect or something like that, and those people scammed other people for money, and Brian tried to bring this up to Ralph, but Ralph was drunk and he sparked at him on air. However, the next day, Ralph asked forgiveness, but it was too late because Brian, in his schizophrenic mind, decided to beat him up. So, what's the best
oh my
to beat
god!
him?
Oh my god! You remind me of something here. You remember instead of Sarkeesian, do you remember Davis Orini?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he was like super friendly with him at some point as well, where they were like, "Oh my God!" I was sort of a team. I more or less believe that the other guy that it was David
So,
Sorini and that
yeah.
other guy. Yeah.
And Brian decides to beat up Ralph, but he doesn't know how. So he comes up with the idea to film that famous "What's up, Gamergate? Come on, Ralphie!" That video where he, where he runs on the side of the road.
Yes, that's the one. He wanted to beat up Ethan Ralph, so that's why he filmed himself. I have no idea how he did it. So I was supposed to help his phone up and say, let's have Gamergate, let's have Gamergate.
He made up a charity boxing match between them, and probably hoped that if he like announces that, then Ralph will like have no ground to fall to. Like he will have to fight him. However, what Ralph did was he faked some DMs and tried to like show that the actual person between fake Denton leaks that that were fed to Brian, that was actually Mundane Matt. And what do you know? Brian ate that shit like living nothing. He ran across all the Twitter and screamed, see, I told you that it wasn't my fault. It was Mundane Matt. However, the next day, Ralph just presented his side of the story like, look, I faked that shit. He ate that shit. Like, he's stupid. Don't believe him. And after that, Brian was, I don't remember, almost forgotten. I remember he was mentioned once in 2016 in some article by Ralph where he just shits on him and says that Sargon hates him or something, like they had fallen out, but whatever.
So this was before.
Yeah, because the irony was that even after the Denton leads, I think sort of Ralph tried to defend him a little bit and tried to be like, oh, it was tried to play it down more or less.
Well,
yes,
yes, that was quite surprising. Can you imagine Ethan Ralph being reasonable these days?
Oh no,
that's right, and
asking for forgiveness.
Yes,
but of course that didn't last very long with the King of Paul, did it? That he suddenly found out that I don't. What exactly was it that provoked Ethan Ralph to like disavow him completely? I don't remember.
Like I said, that was caused because by that time where Brian, I don't know the exact details, but he came to Ralph's stream and tried to tell him something about Aurini, scamming people for money. And suddenly Ralph goes, motherfucker, what do you think you're saying? Like, we don't do this, we don't do that. And Brian, he like was so offended by this that to this day, when someone asks him, why do you hate Ralph so much? He will say this shit. Like back in the day, he screamed at me on his stream because I wanted to expose David Aurini or something.
Yes.
Also, that's the reason.
The other guy, but yeah.
Also, that's the reason why he felt Ethan Ralph. Oh, that was the reason.
Yeah, and simply since that day, he hated Ralph with all his being. In a matter of fact, do you know what was the first post that Brian left on Kiwi Farms?
Is it the one?
You don't know.
Is it the? It's not the king. Is it the Coach Red Pill thread? No. It's a Coach.
No. That's gonna be funny because the very first post that he left on his first account, Fedora Man, was a failed attempt at creating Ethan Ralph's thread. It failed because at that point Ralph had one, and it was better. And as you may expect, that thread was basically like the one that he made about Vider. Like, look at this, like motherfucker. He's like mean to me, and I hate him. And he's a loco. Go troll him.
Oh, so that's the one. Okay, that's the one. I knew it was a thread, but yes, you're right. His very first post is, I suppose, he felt of Ethan Ralph, got mad, and started doing a thread of Ethan Ralph. Without realizing that Chimberger's already beaten him to it. Okay.
Yes, and what's funny too, that you know who was the person who actually like looked at that Fedora Man account and told, "Look, it's Brian Dunn," and proved it.
Is it Ethan Ralph?
It was Ethan Ralph. Yes, it was Ethan Ralph. I mean, it's hard to believe these days, but back in 2017, Ethan Ralph used his Kiwi Farms account, and he was actually mellow and talked to people despite them shitting on him. And he like had the idea that you don't poke a bear, because he's already had a thread there, and he knew that he shouldn't make things worse for himself.
Yeah, that time,
And
Ethan Ralph was a very reasonable person, very likable person.
yes,
Now,
yes,
the
and
Ethan
it's
Ralph,
hard to believe
yes, go on.
that in his slap fight with Brian, yeah, he was the reasonable one back then. Now they're indistinguishable.
No, now it's a different story. I would say yes. I'm right. You're right. They might be as bad as each other because, well, both of them do go after people in real life.
Yes.
But yeah. But 2017 Ethan Ralph, everybody liked 2017 Ethan Ralph, even though I suppose he was already doing things like spitting on supporters, a bit scummy stuff here and there, but no as bad as now. No as bad as now. But we are going. That's
I don't know,
it's gone.
but at least he knew better. Like the threads that he had barely like 20 pages, I think. And if you like go back and read like I don't know from first to 30th page and see his interactions with people, that's like a different person.
It's a different person. Yes,
Yeah, it is.
Yes, someone from now can suspect.
Like my show. Oh, this happened, that happened. I'm trying to clear up a few rumors over here, but it's all very nice. But people, the detractors, giving him down on autistic ratings. But he sounded very reasonable to me. The Ralph, his Kiwi Farms account is TheRalph. The Ralph, his early posts were reasonable. People didn't like him, but I couldn't find fault with him. Unlike now. Yes, you're right. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, someone from today can look at those posts and assume that maybe his wife was running that account.
You don't never know because it sort of went like from this. It started more or less like a writer or like some journalist and had some sort of integrity, and it's sort of just spiraled to alcoholic hillbilly guy who says what he wants. So that's cool.
Yeah, we fled to Mexico. But I just like to okay, but assembling timelines is a bit difficult. In 2015, okay, Brian Dunn came to prominence. Then you said it disappeared because of what? Why did it disappear again? From 2014, 2017, it disappeared because it fell out with Ethan Ralph. Is that the case?
I think he disappeared basically because he wasn't able to attach himself to Gamergate because he fucked up very early in that and get this reputation and even some short-lived meme called Cop Verified. And for some time even he tried to run with it and his Twitter handle was I verified it or something. But in the end, he had nothing juicy, nothing interesting. He was like just a spurgy guy who screamed like nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah,
nobody liked.
He was like confirmed liar,
Confirmed liar,
after
yes.
that leak where
yes, Milo Yiannopoulos. Yes, he fed false information to Milo Yiannopoulos, so his credibility went away. He disappeared. Then after this 3-year gap, I remember him proclaiming that Matika, well, he's best buddies with Matika. That's how Brian Dunn came into my radar.
Oh my god!
Actually, to like 7 people who are watching us, this Saturday, Mr. Matika will be receiving calls. And if I fail to call him and ask him, was he really friends with Brian Dunn, you should do it. Otherwise, call him about Battletoads. Because this is our last chance. We will never know.
Oh, so Mr. Matika is taking calls. So just give me some context because I'm a bit confused over here. This weekend, Mr. Matika will be taking calls. Am I right? Am I right to assume that?
Yes, because he said that his health is failing and like he doesn't know if he will be able to stream in 2023. I mean, not because he's dying, but because like treatment and procedures, all this takes time and takes toll on his health and like his low energy and like he gets sick very often. So maybe that would be the last stream for a very long time. So he will be
Ah.
taking callers.
You'll be taking callers. Okay, the finale. But just back to KOP and Matika.
Yes,
KOP
yes.
came to prominence. King of Pro came to prominence when he's captain. I'm not sure whether it's Twitter feed or what. Twitter feed, Kiwi Farms. I'm not sure. But I was always left with the impression that yes, Brian Dan, he calls himself a very close bosom friend of Matika during the 2017-2018 eras. Yes, I know this about Matika. He's the past captain tagging him on his Twitter, so on and so forth. Until Matika got fed up and gave us this infamous stream that catapulted him into relevance again. But this time he is, wow, the monster of the week. Do you want to go into detail?
I'll try to send you like send you a link. Where in green room or
Oh
in
yes,
the
the
okay.
group chat, Discord group chat. So okay, let's
Okay, I'll drop you a link to Kiwi Farms. I hope it works.
okay, let's
And what's interesting about that? Like, King of Paul comes to Kiwi Farms and keeps claiming that, oh, Jimbo, we play fighting games together. Oh, and he doesn't even call him Metacore or Jimbo. Jimbo.
Oh, Jimbo.
Yes. And with this and with that, and he claims that multiple times he told him like to stop embarrassing himself, like and other stuff. Like he knows him, he this and that. At some point, I can probably it was before Super Chat. So someone either called him or sent a message to Medicare on stream and asked him what he thinks about Brian, and like he's like reading this. What do you think about Brian? Like pause and then he's, oh, you mean King of Paul?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
saying.
and she's like, I don't know. We played like a tabletop simulator with him 1 or 2 times and talked on Skype. He's spurgy and he doesn't know where to stop and something like this. I mean, you can hear that he barely knows who this is.
Yeah. So how?
And
Yes. And he was really trying to be Metacore Junior as well. That was he was sort of.
yeah, I even remember at some point when all the Kiwi Farms, new included, tried to troll Brian. He made his avatar not that thing that it is now, but one where it was like Mr. Metacore and Junior in a corner, like Metacore Junior.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I put it up.
Yeah, and on that screenshot, you can see someone linked to him. Like, look, Jim said that you are not his friend. He doesn't know you. And look what he said. Listen to it now. 100% correct, and I know what he means. I love Jimbo. He's still my friend. And he does point out shit to me often, and I literally tell him, yeah, I know, which I'm understanding the hard way. That's what's got the internet to me like BSV drama.
And
Oh god.
yes, and what happened is I just want to ask. Yes, Ben looked murder. Are you John Smith? The past.
No.
Yes, because before you, I think John Smith is it's his
Yes,
professional
yes.
log. Okay, so you're
Yes.
John Smith. Okay,
Actually, that guy, like John Smith, if you watch this, like, thumbs up. You made a great job.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the guy.
He went so far under his skin, you can't even imagine. Because at some point, like, he just like lightly poked him, like with something. But right after that, Brian literally started threatening him, like, I have your IP address.
Yes,
I mean,
wild how much this John Smith tried to really get under his skin, because I think that's the guy who provoked the most of all people.
oh, yes. Like, he pokes him and he literally said, I have your IP. And starts claiming some bullshit like he got into Kiwi Farms and like got all the IP addresses or something. And what do you know?
Yes, yes, it's the IP author saga.
IP, yes, IP authors. And after this, what do you know? No DMs him and tells him, "Did you fucking do something to my website?"
Yeah, you're not supposed to be doing this, Brian. You
Yes.
know, this is illegal hacking. It's,
Yes, he
it's not
basically
something.
Yes, he made
basically says, "If you motherfucker tampered with my website, I'm gonna tear you a new one."
yes. Uh, that's why now, I mean, he made a few claims that led to now. I still remember that part. He made a few claims about the website, led to now he's losing his mind, and rightly so, because he's suggesting that his website has a few vulnerabilities and he's tampering with it, isn't it? That's I don't recall the details. I'm not a tech person, but something around those lines. Yes, KOP was making shit up and now took it seriously.
Yeah, I think that was when his relationship with Knowles really went downhill. That's when he's.
From what I understand, he basically tried to make this John Smith guy to join his Discord server and somehow get his IP address from there.
All right.
But really, he doesn't have shit. He didn't have shit.
Yes. Just
like always.
Just one thing. Someone is. Sorry. Hold on. One moment. Not top chat. The live chat. I think there were a few comments made by. Oh, it's not visible. But I wonder if you can see Domina Morgu. Domina Morgu. He made a few comments to what we've said just now. Jim played.
No. Yes.
Jim played games with lots of people, and Brian always turbos plays up his similarity with E-Celebs. But don't let Jim downplay his involvement with the King of Poa either. Jade's IRL friend Cindy was e-dating Brian and probably screwed him. And yes, go on.
That's funny too. Because if that's the Cindy I think of, then that's a very funny story. And it was told by Ralph from 2018 too. So I think it's more or less credible.
And
so this Cindy chick was like doing some stuff for the Ralph retort, I think. And yes, she was dating Brian. And at some point, they tried to meet together in IRL and plan some, I don't know, not vacation, but some trip. Okay. And they set in stone, but this girl, Cindy, has a school. And she told Brian that she had a school. However, Brian forgot and tried to call her like 30 times. He keeps calling and calling. He gets angry. He texts her that, like, if you don't answer my calls, fuck you. No trip, and I'm breaking up with you. This poor girl comes from her lessons, reads all this shit, and she's shocked. She calls him and says, like, what the fuck? I told you I'm having school. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. But I already, like, dropped all of this. And like one guy from the Ralph Report said, he literally got cucked by his bad memory.
Yeah, but there's just one. It's not a Syrian, right? This lady who taught us at her school, the person who was friends with Jade, she was not the Syrian lady that he claims to be his wife, isn't it? Do you still remember the Syrian he claims? Do you still remember the Syrian wife?
Of course.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure, but
I don't remember the Syrian wife. I was actually friends with her for a little while. But yeah, no, I was surprised to find out earlier that Brian has actually been married 2 times, but he was only pretending to be married to this Syrian. So that was something that annoyed her really much.
Yes,
they were together. They were like a girlfriend, but he said they were constantly married. And I was talking to her, and she said to me, "If he says that, just says that's not true because She didn't want him to be telling that to everybody. He was adamant that they were married. She was adamant they were never married. It's pretty crazy, actually.
Okay, about that part of the lore.
I'll have to go out and do a little work. I'll be back maybe later, but I really have to go because I have to help somebody with doing something really urgently.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yes. Very sorry to hear that.
We'll try keep it going.
Yes, we'll certainly keep it going.
Oh,
And yes, hold on, before you leave, will you be coming back? Is Vida, will you come back? Oh dear, he muted himself. Okay, never mind.
oh, I'll try to be fast, but I know I'm gonna help somebody.
okay, okay.
No,
Move a
no.
couch or something.
I mean, come back next week. Come back next week or another show.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. King of Paul, he'll be he'll be the moment shaggy of this show.
Thank
We'll
you for
spend
coming.
yes, thank you for coming. We'll spend several episodes going. We'll spend several episodes covering that one locale that we can never ever finish. So yes, one is Moment Shaggy. I think the other is Ethan Ralph, and the third I think might be King of Paul. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, but yes, thank you for spending time with us. It was a very good 1 hour.
Oh, great, great guys. I hope to speak with you again. It's King of Paul is like
Yes.
you know, like
Yeah, I know. You'll flag this channel down. You'll flag this entire channel down. So fingers crossed. Yes, we'll continue. Yes, because there's so much cover. There's really so much cover. Okay, see you.
All right, you guys have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
I did
too.
have fun. I did have fun.
Oh.
So I'll just read one more.
Okay, about that part about Brian being married, but not really.
Yes.
So, as far as I remember, back in the day, Brian had this beef with Vider because, like, of some debate or something, and immediately after this, he tries to like escalate it as much as he wants. So he records that famous video in his car. I'm probably drop you a link.
All right, just drop me a link and I'll see if I can add it.
Oh yes. This is like must have. This is must have.
Okay. This one, right, where he went. What is saying is he went full Holocaust. That's what I'm seeing right now.
No. This in the group chat.
Oh, in the group
called
chat.
Dark Side Phil. Watch this, please.
Dark Side Will, please watch this. Okay, just give me a moment.
Watch this, please.
Okay,
Yes.
let's see if I can load up. I'm not sure whether internet connection is slow and yes, and as usual, OBS is my greatest enemy. OBS will forever be my greatest enemy. Just give me a moment. So, just can you give me a rundown of what sort of what do you call that? What sort of video this is?
Video. Okay. Basically, Brian in his uniform. Back then, he worked at Haskell, the termite and did termite inspections. He sits in his car, not his car, but the car that job owner gives him. He sits there in his working uniform with his label on visible and screams shit like Dark Side Field fans wants to rape my wife.
Yes, okay.
Especially that part. And I don't want my wife to be treated by your fucking fans, Phil.
Okay, hold on. Is it playing? Okay, I hope it's playing. It's taking quite some time to load for some reason. Okay,
this is directly to you, Phil. I can't.
Yeah, and basically, this video where he claims that Darkside Phil is like a bad person or all, and this
Phil.
and that and this and that, but his fans are trying to get him IRL, and they go after his family, especially his wife. And back then, he was living with that Sarah, I think she was called.
I finally finished Fred Fox's new rant video. I know you
and
don't
yes,
like
he
him,
claimed
Phil,
her to be his wife.
However,
at some point,
and I'm gonna title the video
I think it was,
with your full name and your fucking your gaming channel.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, yes, can you continue? Sorry, the video was playing just now.
Yes, at some point in autumn, he announced on Twitter that they broke up. However, right after he said that, in the replies, Sarah appeared and told basically, Brian, why are you lying? We were never married. Oh, here it is, by the way.
Okay, are you want to send me another link or do you want to play the video?
Another picture.
Okay, now picture. Just hold on. Oh boy, I really. Okay, this is the one. Hold on. I just need to toggle to open the Discord window. Oh, it's Discord window. I'm hoping Discord window is working. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's really. Have you tried streaming before? Okay. I have to go on the tangent. But have you tried streaming before?
No.
Then you have to know my pain. It's I'm trying. I'm using Windows Capture over here, and this for some reason.
No biggie. We can talk after that. Okay, so he went. So yeah, we broke up, and she like starts grilling him like, we were never married. You lied about me. Stop, please leave me alone. And what do you know? Because Brian already has a threat, people in the thread start laughing at him. And what do you know? Brian appears and starts crying, literally, like, can you guys stop? Like, and starts like telling some sob story about like that Sarah wanted to go to Syria to help her like people or something like, and I stopped her and I cared about her, but like in the end, other things matter more to her, and like I've lost my lover. Can you please like stop going after me? And he basically promises to start a sock account.
Is it all right? Is it reasonable for me to say that the fact that he thought that Sarah, the Syrian called Sarah, was in any way king of Poles, or was anyway married to him, it was just voices in his head. It is just his delusions. Am I right? Is that reasonable?
Either that or he tried like to boast himself, like, look, I'm a married man and married to this hot Syrian like chick.
Okay, I see.
And considering what he married in the end, yeah.
But of course, I think let's not go that far. I've heard that his actual wife was a very nice lady who tried to, tart wrangle him, tried to stop him from going on these stupid internet slap fights and take care
I don't know really, because every time when he appears on video, he looks like a fucking pig. I can't imagine a woman that would allow her man to look like this.
but I think anyone who tells King of Pole stop going on the internet, just focus on your real life. You're a married man with a daughter. I think that's that's a very that's a good wife. In my opinion, that person is a good wife. But of course, let's agree to disagree. Just one moment. So I'll just segue a little. Let's see if we can read the super chat. Not read the super chats. Hold on. I didn't know. J. Production says, I didn't know GNN was a channel on YouTube. Can you bring Dreamy Bull XXX onto the show? That's a comment by H. Okay, nothing to do with King of Pole. But H, if you know who Dreamy Bull is, ask him, drop him a message, and I might bring him on. Okay. So what else? What else do we have to cover? Yes. Voices on.
What I wanted to talk about Sarah, because there was quite a story.
Yes.
Like, yeah, people like find out that they're broken up and this and that, and it seemed that it's over. However, it was far from over. After some time, this guy John Smith actually contacts Sarah and asks her what it was like to live with Brian. And she said that she still lived with him because they signed a lease together, and she couldn't live anywhere until it's over. And she basically told that every time when Brian has a shouting match with someone on the internet, he becomes really, really not good IRL, and she's afraid of him. I mean, basically to the point that she was afraid that he's going to hit her, I think.
Oh, no.
I mean, she basically like says, when you guys get on his last nerve, he takes it on me. Or something like this.
No.
Yeah, that gets pretty dark.
Yes.
And you know what Brian said after that? Brian, who cried that like Sarah, he loved her and this and that, and she's like his lover, and I lost her, and I. Do you know what he said?
Yeah. So what did he say?
Basically he said that she's a basket case. She's schizophrenic. She's she's a psycho. She like makes things up. She's unstable. She's on pills or something. And yeah, you can see where it's going. But however, that Sarah chick was, this like hacker, weeb.
Oh, she's a weeb.
Called Weave. And well, turns out that Sarah was a girl of that guy Weave, and that guy Weave had an account on Kiwi Farms, and people actually asked him about her. I mean, not like upfront, but they joked that Brian cucked him, and he just replied that, like he took out my like what's left.
Yes. Oh.
And yes, and never ever he called her a psycho or unstable or schizo or anything. And actually,
yes, go on.
Sarah gave an interview about living with Weave, and she had nothing bad to say about him. So I really doubt that she wasn't so unstable or unstable at all, considering we're talking about Brian. However, what happened next was really hilarious. After that, when Brian claims that she's like crazy and all,
yes,
a new account jumps into his thread and says, "What the fuck are you saying about me?"
Oh, so in other words, the Syrian lady came in and called out this nonsense. Is that what happened?
Yes, basically that. And of course, Brian starts crying that, "Oh my God, like Sarah, like I don't want to get into this. Please be happy," or something. And the bad thing is it kept coming back, because I recall she then jumped almost a year later to 8chan in a thread where people talked about Brian and reiterated that they were never married and that she's not crazy and everything, and then confirmed it on Twitter. However, the funniest part came during the outline leaks, because everyone remembers the stream that Mr. Matika had. However, barely anyone remembers.
Yes.
Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, go on.
Yeah, barely anyone remembers the stream that Ralph had. So, of course, he jumped on an opportunity. Actually, stream was what's interesting, because Ralph had Sarah on that stream. And what she said, even though it wasn't much, I mean, at that situation, any other woman would probably destroy him and said all kinds of shit, real or not. However, what she said, like, she joked about him being all those, like, psychiatrists, scientists, policemen, home inspectors. So, like, that he's basically full of shit. Then she mentioned that when she asked him to spend time with her, he could reply something like, "I can't. Jim is streaming." Or something like this.
Oh wait, but hold on. I don't understand. You can actually rewatch. Does Jim delete the streams? No, makes no sense, because I can leave the stream for later, right? If a girl wants to bonk me and the Jim stream is going on, I will say, no, sort the Jim stream. I'll screw that lady instead. I can always watch a replay, because Matika is very popular. Someone will upload a recording of the stream.
Yeah, just goes to show who Brian loved more.
Sad, isn't it? And
yeah, and actually, the biggest piece of dirt that she dropped on him, well, except the fact that, where people asked, like, was he like going after other people where you were together? She replied that other girls contacted her all the time and told her that Brian asked them for nudes.
Oh. No.
So, like, he's not only in outlines and that.
Yeah, I think she also asked that Ruby Hole the girlfriend of Jonathan Bartok Ross, he also asked her for nudes. Yes, I'm not so sure.
Yes.
Because I'm not so sure, but now you mention it, I think he also did. So
yeah, and the biggest piece of dirt was that Brian claimed that his dick is 7 inches, and she said that it's closer to 6.
Longer than mine, but wait, hold on. That means that Syrian Sarah has actually slapped the king of Poe. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, yes, she was his girlfriend.
Oh, all right. Okay, makes sense. All right, understood.
And what I remember for sure, that during that stream, even though she didn't drop anything too big, Brian, he literally went apeshit, and he started like claiming things like that she's a bipolar schizo, even though it doesn't make sense, and that she's like absolutely crazy. And at some point, she like pointed a gun at him and made him like give her all his stuff or something.
You think it's? I think that's projection. That must be projection.
I mean, Sarah admitted that she bought a gun, but only bought it and never like even took it out, but because she was afraid of him. After they broke up, and she was forced to live with him.
Forced to leave him or forced to live with him?
Live with him because she and Brian signed the lease together when they were together.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, and like, give me a second.
Yes.
Here. And also she had her version of the events.
Yes. So you posted it? Oh, okay, archive. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. So let's see whether. Okay, it's loading. I'll just. All right, not sure whether. Hold on. So regarding the defaming tweets made about me breaking into homes and guns, wait, just let me see whether it's correct. Oh, hold on. I really hate, to be very honest, I really hate the, what do you call that? Never mind. Can you give me the rundown? If that's okay with you.
I can read it, no problem.
Yes, it's possible. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Regarding the defaming tweets made about me breaking into homes and pointing guns, I would like to come clean with what really happened. The gun, it was actually an Uzi, and I'm wearing a backwards upside down visor. My 5.5, 125 pounds figure lost under 3 pants and oversized SpongeBob shirt. Arm fully extended, I yell, "Hand me the only shirt you own, that green Muay Thai one." And the victim in front of me whimpers in gay. "No," I shout. I snatch the shirt and leave victorious, only to be served as cease and desist almost a year later. Shows up to court date. A reformed gangster in a suit with my face tattoos still shamefully visible. Judge takes pity on this since one stuck and sentenced the man with the red gag ball in his mouth to involuntary commitment at the very same psychiatric ward he was a lead doctor and researched at.
Wait, wait, hold on. This feels like a shitpost. This feels like copy pasta.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, come on. That's like skinny little girl pointing a gun at Brian. Like, what can you take from him? She even said something along the lines, well, he couldn't file a suit against me because he didn't have a car to drive to the police station.
Is that real? Oh, but so telling me that yes, that did happen, right? The part where Sarah was also tormented that she actually pulled out a gun at him.
No. She said she never pulled the gun, but Brian, of course, claimed that she did, and or something, and she posted about this afterwards.
Okay. Oh, so that's the Sarah saga. Do you have anything else to say about Sarah saga? Because I'm trying to figure out what happens next.
I mean, after that, it was basically over because
yes, but
he never mentioned her. She never mentioned her.
Yes, but the outlines, the very infamous outline stream done by Matika. Was this before or after?
That was the same day it happened. Like Jim streams about outlines, and in the evening, Ralph has his stream about that recording with Sarah and other people.
Ah, yes, okay, okay, understood. So yeah, so in other words, the is Sarah. I mean, the lies about him being married to Sarah. That's before. Actually, that's before. Then the Matika stream blew up. Matika stream blew up, and then yes, the Sarah law. There's more on the Sarah law. Okay. Makes sense to me right now. It just makes sense to me right now. The what do you call that? Yes, do you have anything else to talk about this very famous, infamous outline stream?
Ooh, that's actually what I would like to say. That probably wasn't the first time.
That was
because during my research, I found out that people. I mean, some of the people from that circle that he was in, they had a conversation on Twitter about Brian trying this towards Danny before. And that's actually, the recording was actually the second time.
Oh, so that's not the first, that's the second time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but just in case the audience doesn't know, let me do the introduction. The infamous Matika outline stream was when internet personality Matika, some call him Jim, did an expose. An expose he did on, who is it? Yes, on King of Poe, alleging that he begged not a woman, but a man, a person of his fellow sex, begged a man for outlines of his crotch, begged for photos of some man he knew online, begged for photos of that of the crotch of person.
Well, actually, you know what's interesting?
Yes.
Everyone, including me, remember this as outline stream or Brian asking for outlines, but actually, they never say that word. He just says, "Can you show me Danny's dick?" You told me you have a picture of Danny's dick, but the word outline never comes up. I think maybe Jim said something like outline or only outline, and people like got onto it. But
he said
no.
Oh yes, I think King of Poe said, okay, I can feel my. No, but he said, but King of Poe said, I will show. No, I will not show you my. No, I not feel my dick. But he said, I think he did say outline. He did say, yes, I'll show you I can show my fully exposed genitals. I won't show you I will not show you my exposed genitals, but I'll show you the outline. I mean, show the outline. Very ugly, the very ugly thing bulging out from his underpants. So I think he did say outlines. It's just that he did not ask for Danny's outlines. Yes, I'm really not sure.
I don't know, because that was actually, I don't know, probably one of the best things that Matika presented, because even after all those years, I can watch it and laugh, because that's just wild. It started with Brian basically like saying that he told the Danny guy who's married that he's cute or something, and it made him uncomfortable. And then it escalates that he's told him something like, I'd suck your dick or something like this. Then it goes further, and that other guy he talks to says that he has a picture of Danny's dick because why not?
It's really bizarre.
Brian starts.
Yes.
Brian starts crying. Please show it to me. Please show it to me. He replies with, I don't have it. But you told me you have it. No, I don't. What do you have then? I have mine. And Brian starts like asking him to show his dick. And when he refuses to show his dick, he asks just for Danny's picture to look at him. And that guy replies, no, I'm not going to show it because you're going to jerk off to it. And Brian says, no.
Yes, the person, should we name drop? Never, let's name drop. There are only, I think, less than 10 people watching. The interlocutor is allegedly Tombahat. Tombahat. Tombahat, yes. I've wanted to run this before, but this stream doesn't make Tombahat look any good. But who gives? I mean, I will just paraphrase CRP coach Red Pill that Shyster living in the Ukraine and suffering. I'm not sure whether he was died from being exposed to the cold, but he did say, "Is this normal? I mean, is it normal? Do guys, do friends, male friends, show the crotches of each other, fully exposed?"
Oh, I don't
Not
know,
me.
because like in that conversation, it seems that yeah, actually those people showed their dicks to each other just because. And like Brian, he tells that other guy Tom Pahet that I have a big dick, and he yes, like he saw it or something.
And there's Tom Pahet told King of Folk, yes, you see my schlong before. That's very strange. I'll just tell you this. This entire outline stream caught me off guard because I thought it was only a sex pest towards women. He's only a sex pest towards women. Yes, I'm sorry if you're found out to be harassing my users, my calling server. Calling user stream, yeah, you're not welcome my server. But that aside, why I was caught off guard is because I thought King of Four only goes after women. Then this just came out from left field. It just came out from left field that he's actually a faggot. He actually likes men as well. He's bisexual.
And that's actually funniest thing, because when that fucking nuke dropped, the Brian tried to downplay it as okay, I'm bi, so what? Everybody knows that, which is actually absolutely not true. Before that, he was like playing that I'm really straight, I'm really everything, I'm all for women, and actually he was quite homophobic. But suddenly, when this drops, he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm bi. You didn't know that? You didn't?"
It's really bizarre. Sometimes I want no. We already know. We already know that King of Paul, he is in two minds. It seems as if a different person, a different nutcase, inhabits his body every single time you talk to him. Just really bizarre. And I think we haven't even gone through a lot. There's really a lot I have yet to cover. In fact, I have all these screenshots. I've not all these screenshots about my personal experiences with Ethan Ralph. But talking about Ethan Ralph again, I just want to clarify. He decided to have a boxing match with Ethan Ralph on 2 occasions. Am I right to say that? Yes, the first occasion was all the way back in the Gamergate days. The second attempt, where he tried to hold a boxing competition with Ethan Ralph, that resulted in us getting the thread banned. Am I right to say that? 2 occasions.
Not yes. When he tried it for the second time, that like ex Jenny banned me and you from the thread. But eventually, like that janitor got demoted, and we got unbanned, and Brian got banned instead. But honestly, it's funny how it went. He couldn't even challenge Ralph to his face. He just tried to play all this thing behind his back and hope that everybody will say, "Oh my God, Ralph bitched out of a fight with King of Paul."
Yes, I think this one. I think we'll leave it for another stream. We'll leave it for another stream because I prepared so many. I prepared videos. I prepared plenty of screenshots explaining my side of the story, and I think was 1.5 hours in. I think we'll leave it for later and maybe get BSV to comment on this. Because you had a lot to say. I have a lot to say.
One thing I'd like to mention that, of course, what happened to his father?
Yes, exactly. What happened to? Yes, we have to cover this. Yes, the pedo allegations. Not pedo, the pedo convictions. I'm sorry. His parents were convicted pedophiles. They were held on to child pornography. So I just want to ask, when was this? Is it also after? It's after.
This happened.
Sarah. It's after the Sarah saga, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it was after Sarah saga. The thing is, I don't remember the exact date when his father was convicted, but I think it was after he tried to smear Vider with bad allegations. However, he after that he tried to smear multiple other people, and he still had this like little slips calling BSV a pedo, even though his father was already convicted, like he claims, for nothing.
Yes,
That's like actually quite funny, but whatever. And we found out about this in 2019.
And I remember that his mother was measured in inches. You know, Ethan Ralph being 5'1" wasn't humiliating enough. I think what's really humiliating is yes, your mother
his
being
mother
measured
is
in
a
inches.
fucking unit. She's like incredibly short and incredibly fat. She's probably square.
Yes, I just have to. I just have to. Just really have to wonder. And I dish out that insult, King of Poe. I mean, I was very angry at King of Poe because same reason. Same reason. He does his modus operandi, accuses people of things they didn't do, makes shit up that could actually get us in trouble. And yes, that's when I got very pissed off at King of Poe. That's the story for another time. But I did dish out that insult at him. I really was really wondering why did King of Poe, why on earth is King of Poe that nutty? Is it because his parents did something to him when he was little? Or what are your thoughts on that? Or do you, yes, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know, because sadly Vider left us, but what he claimed that somehow Brian still has some knowledge about drugs and other medicine that people with mental disorders take. So he had this thought that maybe his mother takes some. So maybe this is where it's coming from.
Or the medication rather than him being diddled when he was young. No, that's an allegation. That's just an allegation.
No, I doubt he was diddled when he was young.
Okay.
I think maybe it runs in the family because his family is like very strange. I mean, his mother has some conviction for. I mean,
Yes.
I don't remember something. Like she tried to get into someone's car or something. I mean, it's really strange. She doesn't look like a petty criminal, more like she did something impulsively or when she wasn't in her right mind or something. So maybe this is where it comes from, that someone in his family has mental illness and like Brian has some too because of that.
Or you think it's hereditary. In other words, it's
Yeah,
born this way. Okay. Oh, it's a really sad saga, and oh, that's why it does. I mean, I wouldn't say everything is about him is projection, but there's quite a really great deal of projection when his favorite modus operandi is to go around accusing people of being pedophiles. So, Bathtub Ross, he's a pedophile according to him. Our friend BSV is a pedophile according to him. For me personally, yes, he said that I'm trying to get him killed. I mean, all three of us, he accused us of trying to get us killed. I have yet to be accused of being a pedophile by him. I've yet to be accused of being someone sought by him, but it's already bad enough as it is. It's already bad enough as it is. I was just saying, Lucky, you too see backwards.
I'm too surprised that I wasn't added to that club of people who try to ruin Brian Down.
But he did say that he's trying to get you criminally convicted.
Somehow, like I said, somehow he knows that I am Gonzalo Lira, but he can't sue me.
So it's just very bizarre. So what happened after the pedophile saga? I think after the pedophile parent saga.
No. What I wanted to talk about more is about the versions. I dropped in the DM the first one.
Okay, got
where.
Okay, where is it?
Yeah, the one where Zed drops in on Brian's father.
Okay, where do you drop it?
1 second.
Okay, so a lot of law on Brian Dunn, King of Poe. I wonder what happened I wonder what will happen if he manages to catch wind.
Okay, I can read it myself.
Okay, Zed drops on his father. Okay, this one, King of Pole. Just one moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dear, I didn't dox myself, did I? I think I did dox myself, but never mind. I'll edit it out, or maybe I won't.
Okay, so this guy, ZK60, who was very good doxer, probably the best doxer of Kiwi Farms, drops papers on Brian's father, claiming that in 2018, Brian's father was arrested on 3 counts of possession of child pornography. He pled to 2 lesser counts of third-degree child abuse. He was listed at 5'6" and 170 pounds, so basically fat.
Okay, yes.
But that doesn't matter. What matters is Brian's response to this. TLDR, the picture was of a 19-year-old softcore from motherless.com, and it was one photo on his browser that was counted 3 times, and third count of the same photo was thrown out because his lawyer pointed out how that wasn't correct within the first months. My father's attorney wanted to pursue it because he believed he could win. My father was afraid, and the district attorney didn't want it to go to court because of what his attorney stated he had for expert witnesses and other stuff. So on the day of deposition, we went to the courthouse. In short, his father took a plea deal without, to get prosecuted for child abuse instead of like getting cleared from all the things. And basically, Brian white knights for him. Basically says he didn't do it, that it was a mistake, that his father just scrolled porn at his job and like clicked on something wrong on Motherless and got prosecuted for this. He also claimed that it was a sting operation by the DA chick who wanted to get reelected. And really, I have so many problems with that. Okay, let's pretend that district attorney wanted to get reelected. Is getting one old guy prosecuted for 3 fucking pictures is the best way to get reelected? If it was a sting, there are much more proficient ways to catch a pedophile. Go full Chris Hansen on them. Yeah. And what she got in the end was like getting one guy, getting him prosecuted, dropping his dropping it to 2 counts of child abuse, and then basically letting him go without getting added to sex offender list. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, and anything else?
Okay. And other thing, if this was really a 19-year-old, how could he get prosecuted for child abuse? She wasn't a child.
Yes, one thing.
Any lawyer could destroy this case on the spot. Like say, why are you prosecuting him for this if she was 19-year-old and like whatever? The only explanation that I can see in this case, if that picture was of some girl like who looked younger, however, the title was like explicitly saying that she is underage. In this case, maybe he clicked on the thing that he knew was illegal, and that's why he got prosecuted. But in this case, he can't be called innocent because that means that he was on the internet, he saw illegal stuff, and he went for it.
Hold on. Sorry, Captain. I just want to clarify. Does child abuse involve watching child pornography? So it makes no sense because child abuse, I'm thinking would be something physical, right? Something physical done to a child. While viewing child pornography would be a different charge.
It coincides with what's written in the papers. Yes, they dropped charges to 2 counts of child abuse. I don't know how it works.
Yes, the most likely it might be child pornography, I guess.
I mean, maybe they just dropped it to something lesser just so he like wouldn't end up on sex offender list because he like because like his part of the deal was I don't want to get a sex offender listing. They okay for that we need to like lower your charge to child abuse. Okay, so maybe it worked like that. However, what's more interesting? That's after some time. Click the other link.
Oh, click the other link.
Where
okay,
yeah, Brian's later words where he calls his father a pedo.
Or click the other link. So where's it? The one. Can you resend it to me?
Yeah, I've sent it to you. I mean, resend. Okay, in 2020, in September, when Ralph dropped his really incredibly embarrassing sex tape, and everyone was laughing at him. Of course, Brian used it as an opportunity to come back and to run his mouth. During all of this, Gator and PPP had a slap fight on Twitter. And like, I think Gator told something like, oh, PPP has Brian on his show whose father is a sex offender. But yet they try to rile us like with the fact that we connected to Dick Masterson, who has his very strange views on a lot of things or whatever. So usual slap fight. However, and what's interesting, what Brian said.
Yes, I highlighted it. Yes, I have no control over what my father's done. Yes.
I have no control over what my fucked up father has done. I mean, for years to come, he claimed that his father didn't do anything, that he basically watched porn at his job, clicked the wrong link that turned up to be a sting to get Day reelected, and he like got falsely accused of being a pedophile and soliciting child porn. Which doesn't make any sense because
yes, go on.
Always his father fucked up. He clearly like hints that his father did something wrong, something bad, something terrible. Why does he? I mean, after all this shit, he claims that what my fucked up father has done. It's but even aside from all that, look how before that he claimed that I love my father and he like made a mistake but we shouldn't judge him. And now he says it's his own actions that got him where he is. I mean, Brian would literally drop anyone under the bus for just a little clout.
Okay.
My tone to disavow. I hate pedophiles, Shannon. I do not wish anybody be in my situation with my own father, which is again, what situation? What? Getting like framed for something you didn't do or what?
I don't understand him. He keeps on flipping. To be honest, it just keeps on flipping. The story keeps on flip-flopping. As I said many times, it seems as if nutcases. Different nutcases.
Yes, and what's interesting that he like Shannon, it's beyond a low blow to beat me for my father's disgusting faults. Which is again, what disgusting fault? He claimed that his father is innocent, that it's all one big mistake. Yet he says disgusting faults. So that leaves us with two possibilities. Firstly, either Brian Dunn's father is absolutely innocent and didn't do nothing wrong, and the first time Brian had all the right to defend him, but as soon as he can get some little bit of that internet clout, of course he drops him under the bus. His own father. But okay, there's also second possibility. And the second possibility is that Brian Dunn's father is actually a pedophile who did something really wrong and for some reason didn't get prosecuted like he should have been and got away with that child abuse thing that barely stuck to him. However, first time he defended him despite claiming that he hates pedos and that his like father didn't do anything wrong. So like anyway you look at it, it's not going to look pretty.
Yes, just really bizarre. But what's the verdict on this person? Actually, no, this doesn't really concern him. This doesn't really concern him, but yes, flip-flopping. I don't know whether he's lying or not. Typical Brian Dunn stuff. This is typical Brian Dunn stuff. And I think I shall forever. I think I will just simply beat him. If he ever comes after me again, I'll just beat him over the head. I'll just call him a son of pedophile. You admitted to it. You admitted to it. Okay, I'm going to call you the son of pedophile if you ever come after me again. You heard me, King of Poe. I'm going to call you son pedophile since you already admitted to it. I don't know whether it's a win that he envisions. Yes, but
also I forgot one thing.
Yes.
He posted this shit on September 3rd, 2020, and just 10 days later, he was on a show with Ear Juice or whatever.
Okay.
And one guy calls them and says, like, you know that your friend, that monkey business or whatever.
All right.
He has some really weird people on his Discord server who like want to do highly illegal stuff to children.
Yes.
To which he replied, basically, do you know that the person who claimed this is BSV, who's an actual pedophile? I mean, after all those years, at that point, Vider's thread was locked for years. Everybody made their minds that it was all false, that he has a clear criminal record, and that he didn't do anything to people, to children, and that he is an actual pedophile. However, Brian still runs with it to this day, and that's what like bugs me the most. For some time, he had like admitted that he was wrong, and that still running with that shit is not good. It will only make things worse. However, after 2020, it's like something broke in his head, and he keeps repeating that Vider is a pedophile. Despite other people just like rubbing it into his face, like prove it, show it, and he can't just let it go. He even gets like, his latest sock was found out because he started calling Vider a pedophile from it.
But I think what's even
he's
more
literally
damning,
the only one who does it.
But I think what I find even more damning is he said that in response to accusations about Phantom Organization being a pedophile. Why is he defending Phantom Organization? That's what I want to know, honestly.
But that's actually what is funnier, because what I remember, at some point, Vider claimed that Phantom Organization had all this really disgusting stuff going on his Discord server, which causes Brian to spaz out, start calling Vider a pedophile again, jump into his thread and screaming that Vider is a pedophile and we're gonna and we're gonna open his thread and we're gonna show everyone that we have a proof, and he's like whatever. Nothing on this, of course, happened. And he keeps defending that guy and saying that he didn't do nothing and nothing of sorts was happening in his Discord server. Time goes on, and he challenges Ralph to a fight. and keeps like brightening our day with the videos of him throwing around his pet and gasping and sweating and whatever. But after some time, that Phantom Organization guy watches his training montages, laughs his ass off, and calls him fat gay
Yes, and he is a madman.
idiot. Yes,
Yes,
and
I thought
Brian
it
has a
yes.
fucking mental breakdown. He hides every video from his channel. He like goes absolutely insane. He changes his profile picture. He jumps right there on the channel of that Phantom Organization guy or Monkey Business, whatever, Excel guy, I think.
Yes.
And he starts claiming that, Excel, do you know that I can call your father and tell you what were you doing on your Discord server? So basically, for all this time, he knew that something not really good was happening there, and when it was beneficial to him, he defended that Axel guy. However, after some after some time, when this stopped being beneficial to him, he like just dropped it. Okay, I knew that he was doing some disgusting stuff there.
Yes, and it's not to his favor. It's not in his favor. Of course, if you get to make these accusations about someone you once defended, it really raises the question: Are you in hock with Phantom Organization? Phantom Organization is accused by many people of being a pedophile and child diddler. And the fact that King of Poa was in his server, defended him on many occasions. That's really raised the question: Is he a pedophile himself as well? Did he and Phantom Organization will put their heads together or share these very disgusting images? Go back to, really raises that question. So whenever King of Poa does this, and in fact, I just want to put it out there. I mean, if ever you and I have a falling out, I think let's just say creative differences. We won't talk about each other ever again. Just don't do this. Don't do that nasty thing of saying you did this bad thing. You did this bad thing. Don't spill the beans. Don't spill secrets or very embarrassing details about each other, because this will certainly raise the question: Why did you associate him in the first place? Since you knew all these bad things about that person that you suddenly disavowed. Yes, applies to Ralph, applies to King of Poa, also applies to a lot of the other people that we discussed last week, and even applied to myself. In fact, this thing happened to me personally. Yes, we had falling out, but I have no idea why. I have no idea why he decided to go around saying, "Oh, he's a very bad person. Oh, these allegations they are more or less true. I'm just throwing out there." I have no idea why. I mean, because if we ever just a piece of advice to, I think, the less than 5 people who are listening, or 9 people who are listening, if you ever have a falling out, just keep silent. Don't go around telling everyone why you have a falling out. It does not make you look good. Oh, yes. So you're saying? I think I might have to end the stream in 7 more minutes. So that boxing saga, the second boxing saga that concerns Seethe and Ralph, yes, I will cover it on another show if this stream doesn't get flagged down by King of Poa. We'll see what happens. But I think we went.
Also, what's funny? He claims that he got doxxed, and that's why he like left internet entirely and whatever, and like people threatened his family or something. The thing is, I found out about him getting doxxed just like hour before the stream. His biggest airlock, didn't know that this faggot got doxxed again. Probably because he's that good at OPSEC.
I was told that this was an excuse. You went back to streaming again, then said, "Oh no, I can't stream anymore because I'm doxxed." But this dox, I was told, the same dox. If you managed to listen to the first few episodes, I think episode 3 or 2 of that disastrous GNN stream, you have a few callers played. They called in and yelled his dox over. Yes, yelled his dox. So this dox has been out for quite some time. It's just another excuse. But sorry to cut in. I just want to read something else by Domina Mogul, another pattern with King of Gaops. He turned on Phantom Organization, he turned on Axel, he turned on that monkey business belatedly while running after Tux, Trudy Trench, and other such characters he met in those servers. When all these, I mean, Tux loves you. I know him to be is I know for certain that he's Phantom Organization. I've yet to see after this. Maybe someone can change my mind, but Tux loves you. Yes, a Grossly Offensive has done a wonderful stream on him that just goes into the very disgusting things that he admitted to. Yes, and King of Pole still decided to associate with him. So, and do you have any other comments? Do you have any other comments?
Thing.
Yes, go
on. Like people in his thread tell all the time, he will never stop. The only thing that's going to stop him is a shotgun mouthwash.
Sad, isn't it? It's just sad.
I mean, he's been doing it for what, 10 years more? Just blindly trying to attach himself to something desperately.
Okay, I think we have 5 minutes to go. I don't want my stream to last more than 2 hours. I'm not a fan of very long streams, so I'll just put it like this. I think last 4 minutes, I want to discuss this a very important thing. Do you think that King of Pole is harmless? Could you want him to go on for another 10 years? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's a pussy, but obviously, like, when he has an opportunity, he goes after people IRL. I mean, what he did to Vider is just unforgivable.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And that was the reason why I said, it's a good idea to go after him. It's a good idea. I decided saw that with less than 10 viewers, with around 10 viewers, 10 concurrent live viewers. So, I don't think he might view it. But if in the off chance that he views this video with 3 of his greatest A-logs, 3 of his greatest haters, I'm not sure what would happen. Will he decide to come out from hiding and resume his streaming career? What do you think will happen next?
I think he already did.
He already did.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So let's see what will happen. Do you look forward to the eventuality that King of Pole will do an expose stream on me, you, and Vita Viking?
Oh, that's gonna be glorious.
That's gonna be glorious, right? I think it's.
I mean, just like that meme about conspiracy from The Office.
A meme, but yes, a meme was supposed to give The Office.
Yeah. Oh, Pepe Silva. Yeah, Pepe Silva.
Okay, so let's see what happens. If this channel doesn't get struck down because King of Pole got angry, I think the Three Musketeers, might cover him again another day. Brian Dunn, King of Pole, there's so much to say about him. I don't understand why a lot of streamers say they don't have content to cover. If there's a dearth of content, if there's a drop of content because locals aren't doing much, just go back. Just do a villain of the week and go back. They have very long histories. King of Pole, he has an online history of 10 years. Just go back and talk about them and gossip all over again. It's easy. I mean, all I did is just pull up stream. There are people complaining that this is a very lousy setup. But I have really had a very great time talking to Ben Lutmerter, also known as Juanbutnotforgotten on Kiwi Farms. I have a very good time talking to BSV, Vida Viking, also known as BSV on Kiwi Farms. And I hope we can continue to have this conversation. So apologies. Is it all right if I stop the stream and we leave it for another time? I think it's still quite a lot. We can still talk about what King of Pole did. I would like to go and talk about my personal involvement with King of Pole at 2020.
No problem.
Oh, no problem. Okay. It's so nice of you. Okay. So yes, let's see, 9 of you still watching. Yes, that's 9 times the amount of people that usually watch my stream. Yes, I thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Gunt News Network. And with that, one moment, I bid you. Let's see if it's still there. Oh dear, what happened? I bid you all a very good day ahead. One more. Why is this happening? Oh dear, what an embarrassment, what a disaster, what's happening? I bid you all a very good day.
Memphis, Tennessee, straight up
Very
this
good
bitch.
end.
The Gunt.
And let us welcome
Big ups to MC Jarbo.
2023. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Did so much
very
face.
good.
Wait a minute, Matt, no.
You too.